Ladies and gentlemen, the title is not lying. I am genuinely baffled and I am confused. What is happening? So we got the analytics here and I want to show you comparisons of new videos that I made in spring 2025. I'm not going to lie. Spring 2025 has been pretty lackluster in terms of having like a front runner show that defines the season, like Dan Da Dan, right? ReZero solo leveling, so on. This season is just a bunch of like weird ass sequels and weird ass new shows that just kind of like doing okay. But the two shows that I want to compare is this. So, Your Forma and Windbreaker. Because the common stereotype of my channel, right? And if we look at Windbreaker performance back in the day, April 2024, yo, this is just last year, man. Last year, Windbreaker did perfectly fine. It was one of the best performing seasonal animes. Obviously, it started to kind of die down by the end because it was just like a wrap-up episode, right? But as we enter season 2, it is like, I don't even know how to describe how bad it's performing. Okay, if Windbreaker bombs, season 2 content, sure, whatever. Not a lot of people are, basically caught up to it and they're just deciding, I've seen season 1 content and I'm out. But it's doing, like, worse than Your Forma. And why am I confused about this? Your Forma is the type of show that would do bad on my channel no matter what. It's a detective show, very big brain in my opinion, and it's too sophisticated for my monkeys. But I don't think Windbreaker is. I think that Windbreaker is pretty much like on that like Unga Bunga territory where people can enjoy, yet it's doing so bad. And yeah, there is, the quote-unquote shadow ban that we talk about. What's the shadow ban? Whenever I talked about shadow ban, I'm talking about this, right? We're never getting out of this prison where my videos basically do not go out to the tourist anymore. We're kind of stuck locally to my local audience because of, I've already explained this over and over again, but god damn, bro. It's doing that fucking bad? That is crazy. And again, it's just like Windbreaker doing that bad? And then you have shows like this, bro. Atelier. Bro, this should not be doing well. Atelier. What the fuck is happening here? Why are people watching this shit? Well, I think honestly, there's a lot of like clickability in the title. She tried to get Shota to assault her by sleeping naked. Am I lying? No, that's what actually happened. This is the degenerate, trashy fantasy shows that we eat up in this channel. So you know what? This doing well does not surprise me. And if you look at the sub to non-sub ratio, look at this, right? 70-30 split roughly. Over here, Your Forma and Windbreaker as well. Again, we're shadow banned, meaning until 3 days, it doesn't go out to a wider audience. But it's quite telling that like people would rather watch this garbage than like Windbreaker. Windbreaker episode 1 wasn't even boring either. It was actually so fun. It was actually so hype. The entire episode popped off immediately. But man, no one gives a fuck about hype shows like this, huh? What are some other random weekly shows that has been doing okay? Honestly, Devil May Cry, I am impressed. Devil May Cry is exceeding expectations. I didn't expect Devil May Cry to do that well. Now, people are unsubscribing, but that's okay. We're trimming the fat, and I've also noticed that whenever you're shadow banned, meaning again, stuff like this, a lot of like old subscribers that don't even know they're still subscribed get pushed out the videos, and basically we're trimming the fat. Devil May Cry is doing perfectly fine. I am so excited, and I believe that in 3 days, a tourist audience will hit. Why am I so sure about that? Well, I've already shown you time after time, right? I've after showing you time after time what happens. For example, if we look at something like Solo Leveling, let's look at, the performance of this one. Solo Leveling finale, what happens after the 3rd day? It spikes, right? After the 3rd day, there's a spike that happens, and then the ratio of this becomes a little bit more close. It's just so fucking annoying because every other reaction channel basically has an inverse graph like this, and they're just getting all the tourists. But hey, we gotta suffer right now. It is what it is. What are some other shows that's doing pretty well? Devil May Cry. Debate. Pretty good. I think a lot of people are watching because they wanted to see a train wreck. But if it was only a train wreck, the watch time wouldn't be high. You know what I'm saying? Like they would simply click onto it and skip to the other scenes. But the fact that the engagement is this strong means that to bait, looking like we're gonna be able to farm this shit. And look at this, 75-25. It's actually so impressive how even if we're completely nerfed in our little box and it hasn't gone out yet, to bait can perform like that. In my opinion, at that 3rd day mark, it's gonna pop off and it's gonna probably hit like 6K or something. What are some other shows? This one actually did pretty good too. I was hoping that this one would do well. I was hoping that Two Perfect Saint would do well. Now, the view says 180 less than usual, but that's perfectly fine. Because again, there is a high quality audience out there. Notice how like the performance of the views is at the lowest of the trajected period. However, the watch time is the highest. What does that mean? The people watching this are very high quality viewers who genuinely want to watch the entire thing, which is great to see. Again, it's still kind of like limited to our immediate audience, but it's cool to see that within our immediate audience that there is this much people, you know, excited to watch it. So we'll have to see what happens, you know, after the 3-day mark. Takamine-san, low-key, it's not doing as well as I thought. Definitely one of the better performing shows. But I think that, no, look at this, right? I want you to look at this. I think Takamine-san has a lot of very, very inferior viewers. Because if we compare Two Perfect Saint with Takamine, what do you see? The views are basically exceeding it, reaching 50% more almost, right? Two Perfect Saint literally is underperforming in terms of views. But what do I mean by low quality viewers on Takamine? Because the watch time barely hits the upper when the watch time here with shitty views can hit that same range. What does that mean? The people watching this ain't watching the fucking video, bro. They literally just clicking onto random scenes and fucking off. Because they don't care about the actual story. They're just here to see a pair of titties just for the fan service, and that's it. That's why like shows like this, it's very cheap audience. Very cheap audience. They don't actually care about the story. They're just there for the fan service. But hey, it is what it is, man. It is what it is, and we'll farm that out. Well, let's see some of the other content. What else was there? This I think we're gonna have to drop. Very unfortunate, because look at this, right? I want to compare again 2 separate situations. So Two Perfect Saint again, high quality viewers because low views, but high watch time. If you look at this, low views and low watch time. What does that mean? Not a lot of people are really down to watch a sentimental show like this, rooted in so much emotions and drama, right? So I get it. It is what it is. I think that the anime was stunning. The art and the production, I think, was definitely up there. But the substance of the material is a bit too melodramatic, and people aren't really down for that. Honestly, same. Not really here to watch a tearjerker and stuff like that. But I can definitely acknowledge that it's a good anime. I think we're most likely gonna be dropping this anime based on the initial viewership. Also remember that like the most important thing, by the way, the first week of seasonal content is where all the views are at. Straight up. First episode is usually on average the highest it's ever gonna be. And then as the next episodes go on, it tapers down, right? It's always like that. Like for example, like this. This is the behavior that I've noticed every time, right? You got a graph, right? As the time goes on, as the episode goes on, right? First episode will always be like, boom, right? It'll always be like, boom. And then it'll kind of like taper off. And this is what I'm looking for, right? By like week 3, week 4, what happens when all the hype is gone and people are actually, you know, like that's like the new baseline, right? And then maybe later on, week 4, week 5, something peak happens, right? But then it kind of like goes like that. But usually the first week is like the highest. If the first episode is this low, that's pretty much a botched project. So I'm probably gonna have to drop this one. I'm not so sure. I'm probably gonna have to drop Your Forma as well. If we look at Your Forma, look at this shit, right? Like watch time and viewership is dead. So Your Forma most likely gonna get dropped. Windbreaker probably gonna have to drop this too. I'll let this shit cook though, right? I'll let this shit cook for another couple days, because this did get uploaded just a couple hours ago, but it is so interesting. Unaware Atelier, I feel like this is one of those shows that we're probably going to be able to keep around as like a shitty fantasy show. Devil May Cry, I am so down to watch it. I think Devil May Cry is the best anime that I'm watching right now. In this current season, judging by episode 1, this has the most quality, and I fuck with it. Tibet was very enjoyable to me to watch. I know there's a lot of hate, but I'm so happy that the Tibet audience is strong and they want to watch the anime. To Perfect Saint, the gimmick could wear off. We'll have to see exactly again where that like baseline is by like week 2 or 3, but looking pretty good. Takamine, how much will this be able to milk the fan service? I don't know. I genuinely don't know how Takamine will perform, because the more I thought about this, what is the substance? Like, the more I thought about this anime, the more I realized, yo, this anime is actually fucking trash. Like, other than just titties and nipples, I thought deeply about this show. Bro, both main characters fucking suck. One, the girl, you have like a Kushida figure from Classroom of the Elite threatening to label us as a fucking rapist if we don't carry her panties, and she's so full of herself. And then the main guy is just the biggest beta bitch who just like gets run over, and it's just and I don't think you're supposed to take an anime like this that seriously, right? I don't think you're supposed to do an in-depth analysis. You're just supposed to turn your brain off and just watch it for the sensical fun and the fan service. But the more I thought about it, it's like, yo, is this anime actually that good? Is this anime actually that good? I'll keep watching though. I'll keep watching though, right? Is there any other show? And that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it for like the new animes coming out. Now, there are still plenty of new animes that haven't even come out just. Oh yeah, sorry. I'll check out Yami Healer too. Good call. Yami Healer, perfectly fine. Apothecary, there's nothing to really say. It's basically the same since season 1, season 2. Yami Healer, killing it. Well, it's not killing it, but in terms of like performance and expected range, like with the 80-20 split like this, bro, absolutely fine. I am so excited that Yami Healer is doing well, because sorry, that's a Squidward picture. We're talking about the soul leveling video the other day. Yami Healer, like, I'm so happy because like the quality is there. I was so like surprised on how well the fight scenes were in Yami Healer. Like, damn. And like everything about it, it just seemed like such a good anime. And that's pretty much it. There's a lot of like other like animes that we're gonna check out. Like this, I'm actually probably gonna check this one out too. The Gorilla God, just like an episode, right? What else is there? Anything new? None. Probably not gonna check any of these out. I hear that we can watch My Hero Vigilantes without having watched MHA. So I might just check out an episode of that just for fun. I don't know about Summer Pockets. And then this kind of reset here. Oh, Shuenji Family, we're still waiting for that one. That should be fun. Don't know what we're gonna do about Gundam. And that's pretty much it. If we go to the bottom though, there's a bunch of new animes that came out today. Like Witch Watch, we're checking it out. I don't know about this one. This, we gotta wait like 3 weeks for this, but this performance has been perfectly fine. Ankh Tensei, we're watching that tonight. We're watching Slime. I'm gonna check out Yaiba, even though I think it's gonna bomb. I don't know what we're gonna about Theogonia, maybe. We already checked this out, so you should expect an upload for this. I think this one might do well. And you know what the annoying thing is? The annoying thing again is how fucking annoying like this split is, bro. 80-20 split, the Shadow Man. Let me rant for a second. Bro, what the fuck is going on? We've been nerfed for fucking 3 months. This is actually some bullshit, bro. This is some unreal fucking bullshit. It's so annoying because I know that like, and this is cope for me. This is absolute cope, right? This is basically the mindset of a loser that blames everything but themselves. But I genuinely don't think that this is my fault. I straight up do. You know why? And I'll show you. I don't think this is my fault because of this. Let me bring you. This is the analytics for the last year, right? Channel analytics, and you're basically showing views right now. Remember what I tell you about shadow bans. When does a shadow ban happen? When you're performing a little bit too well and you're going beyond an expected range, right? So if we look at this and I bring it over here, I want you to look at this. What's really fucking annoying is that, like, basically we got shadow ban, remember, back in December during this period, and that fucking sucked. We missed out all of December, you know, money revenue, which was like, god damn, but it is what it is. But, you know, as I said, in that 3-month period, there is an expected range, right? There is an expected ceiling and an expected floor. And in my opinion, from my observation of doing content creation, it is like no matter how many videos I pump out, no matter how many different trends or lack thereof, the viewership is very consistent. There's nothing I can really do to push ahead. They're all, and I think the algorithm is designed to keep you in an expected range. And I've talked about this over and over. There's another 3-month period, right, with a spike over here. Another 3-month period with a spike over here. Another 3-month period with a spike over here. Another 3-month period with a spike over here. This has been my, you know, experience as I've been growing the channel over. And why does the shadow ban here happen? Because I think that the expected range was doing a little bit too well, so they kind of nerf you and then bring you back up. So it's kind of like a recalibration, but this is insane level of cope. Then there is this. These two reasons is the reason why this has been shadow banned, in my opinion. Because if you still take the average in this 3-month period, if you still take the average in this 3-month period, it's still better than ever. It genuinely is. It's still better than the previous 3-month period. But because of the peaks that happened in the first week of January, with Sister Leveling popping off as the most viewed video ever, as well as the first seasonal animes, like talk about, right? Remember, every seasonal weekly, right? First week is always going to be the highest and then it tapers off. Because this exceeded the expected range, in my opinion, we've been stripped of all the viewerships as been shown through this, right? 80-20 split. I always talked about this shit. 80-20 split with the reach, the visibility being heavily dominated by browse features, which is again the homepage, the recommendations, but the suggested videos no longer shows up. And how do I notice this is an actual fact? Because I'll show you my second channel, bro. My second channel, it's so easy to farm views. My second channel is genuinely doing way better than my main channel again in terms of average viewership. Let's look at it. So, just to explain to you that I'm not crazy, if you look at the performance, don't even look at the viewership, right? Don't even look at the viewership. I want you to look at the audience tab. This is what happens when you're not shadow banned. When you're not shadow banned and the algorithm is confident in you, they will straight up push your videos out so much that the ratio of non-sub to subs become like this, right? It's not just one video either. I'll bring you like the last 4 videos, bro. All these Ben 10 videos pop off so hard because they're not shadow banned. Boom, right? 50-40 split. You look at the audience over here too. 50-40 split, 55-45, something like that, right? It's near that 55-45, and that's a very healthy viewership. And another thing too, look at the reach. Notice how suggested view videos is always second place here. Notice how second most, traffic is suggested videos. That's not the case when you're shadow banned. When you're shadow banned, bro, they don't show through suggested videos. Do you know why channel pages is number 2? Because channel pages means people don't even know I uploaded those videos. That's why people now go to my video, go to my channel, and see if a video is out there. All right. Our monkeys, let's see. I think you should name your reactions like ReZero episode 15 reaction. Celine Arava Sevior, no disrespect, but you have no fucking idea what you're talking about. And how could you know, right? You don't create content. And this is the most intuitive bait. In your mind, you think, I should just, if I just label anime title and episode number, then it's gonna do well. That is like the most baseline monkey intellect in the YouTube game. But again, I don't blame you. That's intuitive, right? That is very intuitive. Guess what? People don't search videos like that. Bulk of the viewership is purely through recommendations. Notice how even in my second channel, where the average viewership is hitting almost 10K, do you see YouTube search engine as part of the traffic? No, it's an insignificant amount. You don't label your, and here's the other thing too. When you label your videos with that, do you really think that like you're gonna show up on the search engine? No, because the search engine, when you type in ReZero Season 3 Episode like 6 reaction, what gets shown to you are the most popular ones. Just because you label it doesn't mean you show up. It's going to base it off of your watch history. They're going to rate it together, and then it's going to show your curated list. People don't find videos like this. This is why I say it's such a tourist trap. Nobody really uses the search engine, nor do you need to rely on it. Everything is through the recommendation system. And then another thing on top of that too, every video has an actual label here. And I'm telling you, the labels are not, here's the thing, the labels exist. But you thinking that if I just put an episode and anime title that it's gonna do well, it is such an ignorant take. It genuinely is. Let me show you something. I've already shown you from the analytics how much the search engine doesn't matter. Don't you think that I've done this before? Like straight up. Someone that obsesses over the algorithms like me. Don't you think that like if it was that simple to just put episode title and number, that you could just get the views, that I would just do it? What do you look at this? What do you think is happening here? Of course I've done it, and no growth has ever happened. I'm operating at a different level. Like you are at such a low level way of thinking, oh, anime title episode number means views. It doesn't fucking matter. The description also has it. The description also has it, meaning if you actually like search it, it will show up. You don't need it on the title. If you look at the reach, there's some other videos that maybe we could check out that could maybe show that. For example, like let's say, for example, like what about like this, right? If I look at like 100 Girlfriends finale, let's see. Look at the reach. Oh, this is what I'm talking about. Third day spike, baby. Third day spike and it pops up. Look at the reach. No, a little bit the YouTube search engine. But if you look at over here too, they still pop up. You thinking that the episode title and number not being present in the actual like title, like do you think that changes anything, bro? It's already here. And being it on the title makes no fucking difference. And here's another thing too. If your logic is that you need the episode number and title to show up, if we look at the most popular videos, yeah, the finale did well here, but why did Roshidere do well here? Huh? Why did that do well here? What about like Nokotan? Or like, you know, like Blue Lock Season 2 finale here. Or like even this. There is no title episode. Like, and here's the other thing, which is so insulting to think that you actually know what you're talking about. Again, if it's that easy to get views by simply having an episode title and number in the actual title, I would fucking do it. But that's not the case. Here's the idea. If I remove the anime episode title and number, it actually helps me get a wider reach. And why is that? When you show an anime, especially for a reaction channel, when you label it with like Licorice Recoil episode 13 reaction, people that don't watch Licorice Recoil are not gonna click onto a fucking video like that. They don't even watch it. But here's the difference. If I label my videos in such a way that it's packaged in a different way, I remove the contents of the title. The people that already know the anime reaction are going to click onto it. They're expecting it. But if I label it and package it differently, it's more likely way more people are going to click onto it. Rather than seeing, anime this, episode that. Oh, I can't watch it because I haven't seen the other ones. But if I package it differently, suddenly it's a lot more accessible. There is like different levels of thinking in the YouTube algorithm that exist that I obsess over. And when I hear ignorant monkeys coming with the same conclusion that you're missing episode title number, that's why you're not getting views, it's just so insufferable. Because like, it's just, that is like the lowest level. That is genuinely the lowest level of thinking. And to think that you can backseat me is just like, oh my God. Like, come on. Try a little bit fucking harder. Going back to the second channel stuff though. Where was I at? I was basically showing you like the difference between like a not sub versus. Also, another really easy thing to just debunk, this is that why is the second channel doing this well, by the way? Like, if your conclusion is that you need title, just think about it. Think about it. Why do you think that these videos are doing well when there is not a single episode title? Why are these videos doing so well when there isn't a single title? Because the people that's gonna watch the Beyblade before they know what it is gonna click on it regardless. And the tourists that have no clue are attracted by the, what's it called? They're attracted by the packaging, the title. And here's another low-level thinking, right? And this is a pain point that's gonna exist in these tourists. In the playlist, it's hard to find which episodes if I'm binge watching your reactions. Guess what? It's designed that way. When you look at Kaka TV, ReZero playlist, do you know why I intentionally make it such that it is ordered in like chronological way? Also, what the fuck? Someone else made a playlist. Wait, someone named Slothiopia made a fucking playlist there. Where's my actual playlist? What the hell? Other people are just making fucking ReZero Petit. They're just fucking making their own playlist. Where is my playlist? Hold up. I didn't even realize. Let's look at this. If we look at the ReZero, right? ReZero playlist, there is a very good reason. Fuck. Where is it? ReZero. Where is it? Come on. Holy shit, where is it? ReZero, there it is. Do you know why the full playlist of nearly 400 video is not labeled like that? Because I'm trying to filter people like you out. The idea of the playlist not having specific episode is because the idea is that I'm trying to curate a strong community where I get rid of tourists like you and have people watch every video because there's so much content there. Do you understand what I'm doing? Like, this is a playlist curated to form a strong community of people that'll watch ReZero in a chronological way that covers all the cut content. That's the idea. And these videos perform perfectly fine. If anything, this is the best performing playlist in my channel. Most likely not due to the structuring of the playlist, but it's more to do with the actual content because ReZero is such a popular thing. You, again, are a tourist that I'm not trying to attract. I'm trying to cultivate a strong community of people, and I believe that my strategy makes a lot of sense. I know that you can't find each episode in one way, but that's not the point. The point is for people to be able to watch the entire fucking video. You're trying to sift through and basically pick one point, right? Basically, you're this. You are a Takamine enjoyer, right? You basically, this is the difference right now, right? Here. You are a low quality viewer, a Takamine-san enjoyer that only clicked onto these sections to see. Come on. Basically, like, you know how I talked about how the watch time is low here? Because people only like click onto some spaces and leave off. That's the behavior I'm talking about. You're doing that with the playlist. You only want to watch individual episodes, and that's not what I'm trying to do. It's an experiment. But again, it's just so frustrating to have these tourists, these monkeys that have never made content, that only talks from their perspective without trying to think. Like, you genuinely have no idea the level of thinking I'm approaching YouTube with. Straight up. I'm not even trying to be egotistical or narcissistic. I'm trying to tell you, I obsess about this shit. To you, it may not make sense. Everything is intended. There is a specific way in that I make content that may not make sense to you because you're the type of person I'm not making videos for. Why I have to watch 400 videos instead of only episodes? You don't have to. That's the best part. You can leave. I'm not trying to cultivate tourists because this is the thing. You watch those, then you leave. You should be grateful that these episodes are even there. I'm trying to make videos for my community. I'm literally in the process of filtering you out to create that strong community. Pandering towards tourists basically creates an elevator. It's like a revolving door of people coming in and people going out. You are a low quality viewer who I'm not making content for. You can still watch it. You can still watch and enjoy it. But like, don't for a second think that like I'm trying to cater towards you. This is why there is actual measurable growth here, right? And some people will think like, oh, if you're so mean to the tourist, why do you not, you're going to lose views. No. This is what happens when you cater towards tourists. When you only cater towards tourists to make videos for this poor audience, basically what's happening here, making all type of seasonal content, covering every single video, not knowing who your community is, basically people are coming in and people are going out. You don't see any growth as content creators when you do that. But the moment that you ditch that and you focus on creating and cultivating a community, look at the measurable growth that's been happening through multiple iteration, right? That's what I'm talking about. Listen, you're still in here yapping about stuff that you don't know any idea about. Sometimes it's better for you to just bow out and acknowledge that you have no clue about what you're talking about and just understand that like it's perfectly fine. This isn't personal. Like straight up, this is not personal. When I say you're a low quality viewer, it's not a personal attack. Just like how you don't care about any of my other videos, that's perfectly fine. I don't take that personally. There's no reason for you to be that dedicated and for me to cater towards you. I'm just doing my own thing. And if you want to be part of the process, that's perfectly fine. I'm just explaining you the process behind the scenes. So don't come at me trying to explain in backseat content creation when you have no clue what I'm even doing, when you have no understanding of anything I'm doing. I am straight up playing 4D chess when you are eating crayons asking you don't put anime episode title and number in the title. Straight up. Like, that is just purely just business, just logic there. At the end of the day, the second channel though, again, I'm wasting time talking to this one chatter. Holy shit. I should not be giving this much attention to a random fucking tourist like that. But the video's gotten longer. It's also a good way to kind of explain, because a lot of people actually have these questions though, straight up. A lot of people have a lot of, like, they do question, they're like, why don't you put the anime episode title? Why don't you put the episode number in? It's definitely a fair question. And I thought, like, I straight up, like, have questioned this over and over again. The biggest moment of realization for me was this guy. Nick Moda? No. This guy. This guy is an anomaly. He covers English dub content. Look at the average viewership. It's stupid. It's actually so stupid how well he does. What do you notice in the packaging of the content? You do not see show name or show episode number. Now, he does put the number in the top right of the thumbnail. I don't do that, and I think it's perfectly fine. Look at this video. Grunkle Stan is a menace. Look at the way it's packaged. I want to click on it. I want to know what it's about. But if this was labeled Gravity Falls Season Something Episode 17, 18 Reaction, am I likely going to click onto that video? No, because I know that, I have to watch these other videos. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, if I click onto this video I'm probably not gonna understand what the fuck is going on. I might get spoiled. But during the middle, maybe I could actually enjoy this episode by myself. And maybe I would then go to the playlist and go watch his other, Gravity Falls videos. This is the moment of realization when I realized putting anime episode title and number is fucking meaningless. This is the way that I'm trying to package my content. Shout out to Danny Moda. They absolutely kill it. And that's kind of like how I modeled my second channel, right? My second channel of just doing like Ben 10 stuff and packaging my content like that. It was truly like I was just like baffled when I saw his channel. I was absolutely just baffled of like, why is this guy not putting the anime number and the title? Isn't that going to confuse the viewers? But then the more I thought about it, the more I realized, oh, it's specifically packaged to target people who wouldn't click onto that video if a number was provided, because you would know you don't even watch that anime. You don't even watch that series. You know what I'm saying? It's truly a big gigabrain counterintuitive process where I was humbled and it was scary. It genuinely was scary to do this type of way, right? It was scary because I was like, again, if you look at the way that my old videos are packaged, I'm like, I'm just naming the title and episodes, and I'm giving the the fat ass thumbnail number and stuff like that, but you don't really see measurable growth. And then at a certain point, I decided, fuck it, let's just do this, huh? Let's just fucking do this. And then once I started to do it, I think it was around here, right? I think the time period when I started to drop the actual title and packaging was kind of around here. So we were already growing without it. And I'm not saying like this is the only way you can get viewership. I genuinely don't believe, like if Danny put the titles, the episode number and the title in his videos, I think they would still perform exceptionally well. But I'm just saying like, why not try something new to try to captivate a different audience? And I think that the way that I'm doing makes sense. I think that the way that I'm genuinely packaging my videos is better than just having anime number that, right? Straight up. That's my opinion. Who knows, right? But at the end of the day, like I have measurable growth and there is a pattern of behavior. Anyways, we're getting so fucking off topic right now. Where was I? Where have I been? Okay. I was ranting about second channel content, right? Right. I was ranting about how well the second channel does. And yeah, it's really cool though that like my second channel does this well. But at the same time, it's so frustrating because the main channel is just handicapped, man. Main channel is fucking handicapped. I've proven to you, by showing you the audience split, right? The heavy 80-20. And I've also shown you the reach and the visibility, right? I've also shown you the behavior of basically shadowban videos where after that third day mark, it then spikes out. Then you actually have traffic of like suggested videos and browse features coming in, right? But it's just so fucking annoying. It's just so annoying. And how long will this last for? I don't know. Nobody knows. My prediction is this though. It's always better to be hopeful than be a doomer. Here's the idea. When I was bombing back in this phase, what did I say during my shadowban period during December? You guys are probably gonna think that I'm crazy, but like maybe I can actually find that. You know what? Fuck it. I think I predicted this. I straight up predicted this. Right? Shadowban, blah, blah, blah. Can I just find a playlist actually? Here. I'm gonna show you that I'm not crazy, that I made a fucking, I'm a prophet, bro. I'm an actual prophet. Let's look at the performance review. Watch this. It's gonna blow your mind, bro. It's gonna actually blow your mind. Okay, weekly performance review. I haven't done one of these in a long time. Also, shoutouts to Tiwi Senpai. Hopefully he's out of the shadow ban. He was another creator that reached out on making a video and he had the exact same, experience that I did. So, did we leave off on, it's not during this part, it was during the December part. I think that it's probably gonna be here maybe? No clickbait.
I actually have
No, we
good
already
news
kind of predicted
for a lot
at
of
that point,
people.
right? I'm trying to look at the graph of when I make a picture. Like there should be a point where I like make a picture and show you that it's gonna be better. Not this video. Let's see. Is it this video? Probably not.
Welcome back.
I don't think it's this one either. I just remember there was a time. Oh yeah. This is the Advent sister leveling, so it's before this one. So maybe it's this one? Or this one?
No,
Not that we already seen that
it's
one.
60-40. So there's actually a lot of tours for this show too.
I know I'm not crazy. I just want to show you the image that I created. Yeah, right here. I call this shit. Back during 3 months ago, during this, right? During this right over here. Look at this. Here is gonna be. I called it. I said, listen, we're dropping and we're tanking, but you know what? It doesn't matter because I know that like after we recover here, that it's gonna spike up. And what happened? The spike up happened. It fucking happened. Maybe you posted too many videos. Listen, oh my god. Oh my god. I don't want to be mean, but you being named Sungjin, and by the way, you also like named it wrong. You're missing a G, by the way. It's not Sun Jinwoo, it's Sung Jinwoo, okay? There's that, but there's also, you know, this stereotype that like people who watch, you know, Solo Leveling or Battle Shonen-esque animes are actually retarded. How are you gonna sit here and say maybe you posted too many videos when literally by all counts the volume of content that's been posted has never really changed? 8 videos daily has been the thing for like a year now, bro. And notice how there's been growth every time. And maybe you weren't here during also this, right? So let me say the second channel. The second channel also did get shadow banned. And I made a video explaining what happened, right? The second channel did get shadow banned. And that was a perfect example to show you and shut these monkeys up that had no clue of how this works. When the second channel got shadow banned here, by the way, second channel and main channel got shadow banned at the same time. I believe, no, it's not during this time, but it was like over here. During this phase, remember, I made extra videos explaining. Let's see. The shadow ban happening during the beginning of January. Watch this. I'm shadow banned. I told you I'm not crazy. This is the end, right? These videos about 2 months ago, the shadow ban happened exactly at the same time as my main channel did, right? And you can see that there's a sharp decline here. And this is kind of like the duration of the shadow ban during this area. This area, I think we were shadow banned for about like a week or two, and then we got out of it. So you can't use you're uploading too many videos as an excuse. Like, how does that make any sense when the main channel only makes 1 video a day, right? Like, you make too many videos when the second channel does the same fucking thing. It's just, again, it's just... See, I just get so triggered when people try to backseat me on content creation when they've done nothing. It's just like... And I'm not trying to be mean. It's just so frustrating when people try to, like, give me advice when they're just so ignorant and have no... I know you probably come from, like, a good, like it's not coming from a place of malice. Like, you're trying to help me out, but it's just like... Come on, bro. We can do better than that. Surely after consuming my content and educating you about all this stuff that you can do better than that, right? But sometimes I'm just wrong, man. Anyways, we're wasting way too much time here. What is the point of this video? I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. It started off comparing Windbreaker and Your Forma and saying, oh my god, I can't believe Windbreaker is doing bad. And Your Forma is also doing bad. And then it just turned into fucking, weekly seasonal content performance review into arguing with random chatters about, you know, ignorant takes. And then we're kind of here. Whatever. We'll just make this a performance review type of videos. Anyways, I'm out. Bye-bye.